I do remember, though, last time, as you were leaving, you asked me, do I know of crystals that will help weight loss?
Mm-hmm.
And remember what I said?
We would eventually get to that.
Kind of. I said there aren't any crystals that can help you lose weight. If you want to lose weight, you have to, limit your carbs, limit your calories. You've got to actually do something systematic dietary-wise.
Mm-hmm.
However, there are several crystal healing techniques and crystal surgery procedures that support you in that capacity.
Okay.
And also can support you in metabolic issues.
Yeah.
And so I thought we'd do some of those.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that we'd begin by talking about the weight spot.
Oh.
The weight spot?
The
Ever
weight
heard
spot.
of that?
No.
Okay, well, let me explain. Back in 2004, I published this book,
Mm-hmm.
How to Lose Weight and Gain Money, that I wrote with my friend Drew. And in this book, we talked about the energy of weight and the energy of money, and it includes information about the weight spot. So let me show this to the camera and show it to everyone. Here's the weight spot. I'll talk you through it in a moment. I'll explain. So here's the information in the book. And we're going to work through that. And it's quite interesting because if you want to assess your weight spot, you can just ask yourself a few questions and so on. And the most important thing for right now is for me to assess your weight spot. I'll put the book down here. I don't really need it. I know what's in there. And of course, people who know that I can assess a weight spot will frequently ask me for that. And your weight spot is in the 7th layer of your energy field. But you have to feel where that is. Let me use this hand. 7th layer of the energy field, so it's above the pancreas. The pancreas is about here, and I got to just there. I'm on it. So it gives me a little bouncy feeling as I touch it. I'll take my hand off you. Can you feel anything, Linda? You've got your eyes closed. You can say no. I'm not expecting you to feel it. I'm just wondering.
I felt like you were a lot closer. My eyes were closed. I felt like you were more near.
Oh, so there was a sensation of presence.
Mm-hmm.
And the presence felt more
closer to the body.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so I'm on the weight spot there, and I'm just feeling it. So, actually, it seems like you've been quite systematic with your weight lately because it's got a firm feeling to it. Mm-hmm. You have been attending, yeah, and so it's got mostly. So you're feeling it in your body as I'm tapping it. It's got mostly a firm feeling. But then every now and then you lose it and you indulge. Is that right?
Yes.
That does describe it. That's the feeling of the weight spot. All right, so I'm going to just see what its trajectory is. And to do that, I'm going to use a nice long wand because this makes an infinity sign from the weight spot across the body, like so. Dropping, so that's interesting. It's quite hard to do this. It's easier to do it on a proxy crystal. There it goes. Now it's moving smoothly. So it needed a bit of tweaking and a bit of widening, which lets me know that it's not that easy to maintain this dietary regimen that you've put yourself on. And that's because of life, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Yes.
It really does prevent us from doing what we want to do because we've got a lot of unconscious material that comes forward. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin with basic prep because it's such a long time since I've seen you. Mm-hmm. And because we want to do a liver detox and an endocrine rebalance, because those are two procedures that really, really support weight loss, I am going to do a basic prep before we go forward. And in order to support what we're doing, we're going to use the common opal under the hands because there is detox work that's going to happen. So this will help to pull those toxins out, as well as negative emotions and things like that. And I'm just checking, should I do the special effects grid first, before basic prep, or after basic prep? And I'm getting to do one special effects grid before basic prep and one after. So the one for before is moving stagnant energy, because a fat deposit we can regard as a stagnant energy. And so I'm using this, actually let me show this. I'm going to use this fuchsite, or fuchsite as I prefer to call it, to move the stagnant energy. And a special effects grid is like a headline and tells the energy system and all the systems of the body, this is what we're doing. We're moving stagnant energy. Good. Here goes. Nice. Oh. The system's really liking this. I'm doing a lot of east-west lines because your body's really telling me this is excellent. It's giving that feeling of pulling the energy in from the crystal, which is a good sign. Excellent. Excellent. Phew. Oh, especially through the brain. Have you had stuck thoughts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, your brain's asking for a little extra help with moving the stagnant energy. And the only kind of stagnant energy I can think of in the brain would be stuck thoughts. I hate when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's the first. So now let's just go ahead and do basic prep. And you know, you've been through this so many times, I'm just going to do a kind of a checkup. Yeah, good. Yeah, this is excellent. Let's clear this. It's an emotional time, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because I can feel the collection here at the calf muscles, which store emotion that's kind of getting stuck, you know, unresolved emotional stuff just drops into the calf muscles and gets held there like a reservoir. All right, let's do that. Good. All right. And then we will sweep with our fuchsite and this special bowl. Yeah. That gridding with the fuchsite helped a lot. This is going very quickly. Honestly changed the dynamic instantaneously. Nice. Wow. You know what? Your energy system missed me.
Yes, it did.
I can
I
feel.
it up.
It's like it's thirsty for this. It's going, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. That's good. We missed you too. All right. And then this one feels like opening the chakras. So here we go. Oh, instant relief. Nice. But your root chakra is better than usual, Linda. So you've been doing work on grounding yourself and sort of aligning yourself for change by the feel of this. Is that true?
Yes, in certain ways.
You're working on yourself, right?
Yes, I am working on myself.
Yes. So that's what your root chakra is telling me, is that you are very much paying attention to important life lessons, is how I would put it. Paying attention to life lessons is what your root chakra was saying. It's true, huh?
Yes.
The root chakra knows. Oh, your heart also. Your heart is expanding, so that's stressful. Your heart chakra, you are learning lessons about unconditional love. Ooh, that's tough, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, not to divulge too much from what I'm reading on the energy field, but you have my commiseration and support.
Thank you.
Not an easy stage in life. Very good. But Linda, this is fantastic. You know what? Taking a bit of a break and then coming back, and I can tell that you've made some big changes and are planning to have changes and make changes. You're taking charge of your life. That's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It's palpable. And you know what? I'm going to say this is not a comfortable thing to be doing. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, you've got to say to yourself, of course. Of course. That's what our teacher in London used to say, Walter Carrington. He'd say something to me and he'd say, of course. And you'd feel so much better when you stop feeling like there's something wrong and realizing, no, this is what it looks like when life is working. It's not easy, but it is like that. All right. Let's see now what we got. Here it is, ready to put the root chakra to begin. This makes a nest of connection between the stone and the chakra when you grid. And then the stone connects into the energy of the chakra so much better. And I specifically do it because I don't put the stone directly on the root chakra. I put it between the root and second chakra. So I really need to make that nest of connection to make sure that the stone knows it's working on the root chakra, not up here somewhere. And that's how I do that. Good. All good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, not asleep yet.
Close.
Close. Yeah. All right, so let's get some mica. I like to use this dark mica for the liver. It gets deeper. And I love the way the mica is layered. If I hold this one this way, you can see there's a lot of layers over there. Could make lots and lots of pieces of mica by separating the layers, but I like the layers because it's informative to the energy system, not to stay on the surface, but to get deeper and deeper. And the more layered, the deeper you're going to get, and the more layers of healing you're going to get in this instance. We can come all the way across here. The liver's a very, very big organ. Here we go. Nice. So now we do the famous pricking. And I will need the bowl. I'll rest the bowl here, so I'm going to need it. Look how well the bowl goes with the color that Linda's wearing. I rather like that. It's rather attractive. Always helps me feel I'm on track when the colors are coming out right. Good. Okay. People are kind of addicted to this pricking motion, but you don't want to overdo it, and you're pricking into the cells of the energy field. You want to realize what it is you're pricking. And when you prick into the cells of the energy field, you're opening those cells so that the toxins can be released. That is the point. Good. So now the toxins are being released into the energy field, and the first thing I need to do is get those toxins to really come and sit in the cells of the energy fields, and I call that process stirring. And stirring is done with a detox wand that has uvite, magnesite, and hematite coated quartz. This is hematite coating the tip of the quartz crystal. This is like a smoky amethyst quartz. This is magnesite, and this one over here is the uvite. Alright, so this process is done in a grid formation, and it is called stirring because it's like stirring the silt in a pond so that the silt comes up into the water, into a suspension in the water. So we want the toxins to be suspended in the cells of the energy field. Right. And the word stirring is the best one to use, but it does confuse people. It makes them think they're stirring a pot, which is then a circular motion. But this is done in a grid formation. You can feel it, can't you? Mm-hmm. Is it a nice feeling? What kind of a feeling is it?
It's a very gentle, relaxing.
Good. All right, so now we scrape those cells. And this stone over here is celestite, actually. At first they thought it was barite. But it is celestite, and this is hematite, this part. An ideal scraper, and scraping is this action. Also done east-west and then north-south grid formation. All right, clear, bowl, and then this way. Good. Next comes scooping. You can get a scooping tool like this smoky quartz. It has like a little spoon shape over here and a handle here. Or you can use the diamantina end of a basic wand, or a diamantina crystal if you don't have a wand. And then you just scoop into the bowl, and again you do the grid formation. And as I'm doing this, Linda's breathing is slowing, and that's a kind of physiological response that you do want to watch for. Part of reading energy is watching the actual physiology that is in front of your eyes. We really got something off her liver, and that's a good news for her. Excellent. And then we vacuum. And to vacuum, we use the hematite coated quartz end of the detox wand, or a loose piece of hematite coated quartz. And again, in a grid formation. It's very interesting how the wand is swinging through your energy field for this procedure. And this, when it swings like this, like a pendulum, that's like an arc grid, because it's a slight arc trajectory that one's following. Here we are. Nice. East-west, and then north-south. Very good. Just going to go through that there. It's asking me to, and here, and on the side here. Yeah, that's a bit thick still there. Good. All right. Very important to pay attention and feel how the person is responding. And that's a feeling. When I use the word feeling in that way, I'm talking about the kinesthetic experience of what I'm sensing in the middle of me, of how she is responding. And that information is coming into my nervous system, and I use my own kinesthesia to take that read. Not the easiest thing to learn to do, and very much patience is required to learn and to understand what it is I'm meaning, because that sensitivity has been developed by a different training called the Alexander technique. Right, your liver detox is done. Went well, didn't it? Excellent. Nice. And you get the sparkly mica bits. All right, we'll put that there. And now what we're going to do is endocrine rebalance. So just to be clear, the reason we did a liver detox is because the liver is what metabolizes fat. And so if we do a liver detox, we strengthen the liver, we strengthen the action of the liver, and therefore the liver is better at metabolizing fat, which is what you want to do when you're losing weight. So there you are. It's strict physiology, and we apply that kind of knowledge to what we want to do to support weight loss in a crystal healing procedure like this. Just want to be clear about that. Now we're going to go to the endocrine system, because that is where a lot of interaction with weight is happening, is via the hormonal systems of the body, via the endocrine system. So we're going to rebalance the endocrine system. And this is a wonderful procedure to learn at the beginning of learning these crystal surgery techniques and procedures, because it teaches you how to grid. It's a little bit repetitive, but it helps you with that. So you saw me gridding with the root chakra stone. Now you'll see me doing gridding before I put down every single stone for the endocrine rebalance. So watch this, it's great. Let's begin here at the ovaries, part of the endocrine system. Let me turn the wand this way. This is my orange wand. I'm going to use the tangerine quartz here to do the gridding. And I'm just gridding over the ovaries. First the one. After I've grid, I put carnelian down in position. Then I grid the other. And I can tell this is making a connection because I can see the tip of the wand glowing very strongly. And that is another way that I can perceive the energy, is how the crystals are responding to being used and whether the tip of the crystal is developing a glow. Doesn't always happen, but it frequently happens. Very satisfying too. Good. That's my orange wand. Next, I come up to the adrenals, and the material, the mineral that helps adrenals and gives them a lot of support is motrimite. Motrimite is one of the less attractive crystals. Here it is. It's also very messy and leaves brown streaks, which not so great. But there we are. That's Motramite, and you can see I've got a tissue because I don't want to leave dirty streaks on Linda's clothes. I'm going to grid though. So I take that, I find the active point, that's over there, and I grid the adrenals. First the one. Ooh. By the way she's responding to the Motramite, I realize that she has a little bit of adrenal stress going on. So that's very informative and very much a cause for metabolic syndrome where it becomes very hard to lose weight. So supporting the adrenals really can help with the overall metabolism of fat and sugar. Other side. Gosh, this is really... Is it a strong feeling for you, Linda? It's a very strong reaction from your adrenals.
Yeah, it's different than the other side too. The other side felt really good and
this feels what?
Stronger and
intense.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very intense. I'm going to pause and adjust this adrenal before we continue because it's asking for that. All right, so let's adjust. So to adjust the adrenals, and I use the same for the thyroid, the hypothalamus, the adrenals, all those glands can be adjusted with this trilogy. So let's see what's in the trilogy. I've got zincite in this hand. This one's zincite needle. I have kunzite, and it's got this very sensitive tip. And then I have moldavite. So that's the trilogy for adjusting glands. Zincite, kunzite, and moldavite. And let's go to work with that. So I begin with my kunzite and my zincite. I ask the spirit guides to lift the adrenal up into the energy field so I can work on it. There it is. And then I start, oh yeah, it's very stressed, your right adrenal. Wow. There we go. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad we paused to do this, Linda.
Tingling on the inside.
Does it feel like I'm touching you?
On the inside of me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like the crystals are reaching in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm way up in the energy field. Do you want to look and see where I'm working?
Oh, yeah. I feel it deep inside of me.
Over there. Oh, that's interesting. And if your adrenal is there. Anyway, I'm working on it here. This is the beauty of it. The guides just bring it to you. If you've got clear intention, even if you're slightly in the wrong position, it's all a happening thing because the guides have brought the gland to you. And if you don't work with the guides, you have to know so much. It's tricky. And I'd like to get the kunzite to actually penetrate the gland, so I do this. Pin the gland with the zincite needle and then I penetrate. You'll have to watch the video, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise you're going to knock stuff around. That's it. There we go. Wow. The zincite wants to penetrate too. Interesting. That's it. Oh, this was emergency therapy. Wow. All right, so I put down the zincite needle and now I take the moldavite and I repeat pretty much the same movements, this time with the mold. Oh, there, it's much more buoyant. it felt so stiff and dark. What it feels like for something to feel dark, I can't really explain it, but that's the word that comes to mind. And now it is pliable and the light is getting in. Good. That's it. Excellent. Meet those stones in the middle of that gland. Very nice. All right, that was excellent. So that's what one can do here at the adrenals. You can do it at the thyroid. You can do it for the hypothalamus to get the guides to lift the hypothalamus. And the hypothalamus is very important in weight loss as well. Hypothalamus governs metabolism and it governs what's going on in the endocrine system together with the pineal and pituitary glands. So all those glands can be adjusted using this trilogy, and it's certainly worthwhile when people are looking for support in weight loss. It's very worthwhile to go and boost those glands with some crystal energy. Really helpful. Will it work if you just wear the crystals? I don't think so, but you can try it. But you must experiment with a good, clear mind and in a systematic way. You've got to be systematic about your research. So I don't think it would work to just wear these stones. I think you have to actually do the procedure or technique. Right, back to our endocrine rebalance with the newly refreshed right adrenal gland. Oh, totally different. It's all calm now. All that intensity and bumpiness and hunger, it was a hungry feeling. It has all relented, all beautifully calm. Fantastic. Good. Okay, so next we go to the thymus over here. And for the thymus we use aquamarine. And after we've used aquamarine, we use Larimar. So here's my special aquamarine tool and my special Larimar triangle. Aren't I lucky? This is also connecting. Good. For the thyroid, I use the aquamarine as well. And then I like to put blue salt on the thyroid. You can use blue lace agate, you can use sapphire or blue salt. My preference is blue salt. And I'll put this one down. And I take my moldavite. This one, it's called Besset Nice moldavite. And you can see it's got a lovely long point. Beautiful stone. I hate to think how much it costs now. Moldavite has really, really gone up in price. And then I grid the third eye, where there's a direct route to the hypothalamus, pineal, and pituitary glands from the third eye. And then I take this piece of moldavite, it's also Besset Nice moldavite, And I put it on the third eye, like so. It's rather beautiful. The Besed Niece is like a snowflake kind of a structure. Yes. And then I take this lovely little piece of salt that's got a lovely dip in it, and I'm able to place it over that stone to make it even stronger. Alright, so that's one thing about the stone on the thymus, it does slip down. It isn't. Just want to make sure it's getting a correct connection, and it is, so that's fine. We'll come back to that. Then I take my Moldavite and I grid the crown chakra, and I have a piece of salt that likes to stand up. So I'm going to come here, grid the crown with Moldavite. And we must always remember that the brain governs everything. You don't want to leave your crown chakra out of the weight loss story. Alright. Then I put the salt there. Now that's great. So we've got all that, and now to give it a supercharge, we put down some salt. That's it. So I have halite. This is halite. And I also have Tibetan rose salt. And I'm going to use both. You can just use the salt blocks, these salt rocks that are Tibetan salt. Or you can use a combination of halite and Tibetan salt. There we go. Maybe if we put some salt here, it will stop the Larimar from sliding down such a lot. Good. And then I like to just get everything connected up with some salt support, because it does make the layout stronger. And you know, we all need all the help we can get with our endocrine systems and our balance of weight and blood sugar and all the different issues that collide when it comes to what's going on with our weight and our blood sugar levels and so on. It is a worldwide situation that our metabolic process is being a little bit corrupted by our strange processed refined food diets and the excess sugar that we're eating, and also just everything to do with our food production, where we are not eating kind of natural foods that we used to, but also our food is altered, and we have altered, and our needs have altered. It's all very complex. So we do what we have to do. Good. Right, we now have a very good layout for the endocrine system, and we leave this in position for the rest of the session, and then we dismantle it. There's not much more to go. What we're going to do is support the idea of weight loss by doing a special effects grid with smoky quartz in order to bring the unconscious functioning into supporting that goal and intention of weight loss. And what I'm going to use for my gridding is my new and fancy smoky quartz Vogel style crystal. So it's not a true Vogel. It is cut in the style of a Vogel crystal, and it works well. So by doing this grid, I am asking Linda's unconscious functioning to support endocrine rebalance and weight loss. And And this is much slower, isn't it, than the few shot was. So that tells me the unconscious is very happy to receive this boost to its capacity. And always remember, our functioning is 95% unconscious. Only 5% of our functioning is under our conscious mind. 95% is under the auspices of the unconscious mind. It's a big deal. I'm sure you're all aware that I am also trained in psychology, and so I have been trying to make friends with the unconscious in both myself and others for a very large part of my life, since I was 18 years old. That's it. Good. Now see, as I go through Linda's knees, I can see that her knees are very hungry for feeling supported. As that is where the feeling of being supported in life is going to hit a person, is in the knees. And I can feel that Linda really needs support. Emotional support. Psychological support is specifically what we're talking here. Good. Nice. Excellent. You seem so peaceful now, Linda. Beautiful. Very good. So as a finishing touch, I'm going to do energy generating at the feet to support the entire process that we've covered, and to give her entire energy field a boost, and to make sure that this endocrine rebalance is really, really, really getting into her energy system the way that we want it to. I'm going to use these two stones for doing the energy generating. In my right hand is a smoky quartz celestial, and in my left hand is a hematite coated quartz from Morocco. This is Moroccan material, this is Brazilian material. Good. There we are. I think that's great. I'm going to let Linda lie there a little bit because she's very peaceful and the energy is really consolidating. So we can finish there and give her a chance to feel at peace and supported.